One of the themes that was up here is balance. But I do want to let you know that it can be so tricky because we were originally talking just about secular stuff, but it's even gospel stuff. Like in church, we'll sing, come on, sing with me. What's the song? There is none like, come on, keep going. No one else can touch my heart like you do. Keep going, keep going. I can search for all eternity, Lord, and find there is none like you. Okay, everybody who's singing, who's a Christian? No, you can't be a Christian. You just sang a song that said there is none like God. The word Christian means Christ-like. And so it's even in some of the songs that we sing in church and some of the things that we hear in church. Well, if you Christ-like, if I can search the whole world and find nobody like Christ, I'm in trouble. The world is in trouble. And so, you know, we weren't even conscious of that. And so, like, it's even in church. Like, I'm not saying browbeat your pastor because he's the man of God that you're giving, but don't be, you know, listen, hear. And then the next song we sing is, Lord, I want to be more like you. If there's nobody in the world like you, how can I be more like you? So, you know, I just want to bring some balance because we're not just attacking the secular world, because you can make one misstatement in your mouth and it can keep you from what God has for you. All right, I'm done, Trey.
Good word, sir. So we talked about pornography a little bit, and this is actually one of our questions. Well, I take it back. We talked about the online industry, if you will, the IT industry. So the question is, to kind of shift it up a little bit, it has here, what are your thoughts on online dating and looking for a spouse? Anyone can share any thoughts on online dating, looking for a spouse? Nobody has, okay. Nobody has any thoughts on it, so we're going to move to another question. You got something?
Now, I don't necessarily have thoughts on it, but I don't think that we can actually let it go by and not talk about it in this setting and at least explore it. And the reason is because it's becoming so huge, especially in the Christian community. Now, yeah, I mean, and like I went online at one joint and there were like a lot of pastors who I respected highly, and it was like, do this right here. And I was like, y'all got the residuals over this joint. I know what's happening. I understand how it works. But every click, that joint, I know the game. I ain't playing, but I know the game, amen. But I guess the tension is this. The tension is this. For myself personally, I've always been like, well, what in the world, you know, I'm gonna go online to find a date, blah, blah, blah. Some of the argument is, though, that it is allowing you to be able to find or have a larger pool from which to actually have conversation and be able to shape relationship. I think what we're looking at is some of the questions we're gonna have to grapple with as we move and technology shifts us in the way that relationship, in the way that we deal with each other. It used to be that there was a big issue around, well, how are you going to just talk to somebody on the phone? Because we're looking at technological shifts. That you spend a lot of time talking with them about how do you do a long distance relationship in which you're just talking on the telephone. And so we're looking at how technology has started to shift our social patterns, our social networks. Truth be told, the first time I met half of the folks I know in here was on Facebook or MySpace. No, honestly. I mean, so I see some of y'all now. And when I saw y'all for the first time in person, well, I already knew y'all. We had chit chats, we had conversations, etc., etc. Now, did that make that medium invalid for me to develop good friendships and to be acquainted with y'all and to meet y'all. Y'all see what I'm saying? But is that the medium in which I feel I need to put myself on a dating service to be able to orchestrate that? I'm not saying that I straight have an answer, because I need to be honest enough to say I haven't really sat and grappled with it long enough to have a cold answer. But I am saying it is something that we have to grapple with and deal with and navigate as we walk along. And I didn't want us as a panel to kind of just let it go past and not deal with it.
You know, one thing in dealing with online dating is really being careful. Really being careful, guarding your heart. Because I did something a few years ago, and I said, I wonder how easy it'll be to trick somebody. So I set up a little profile on one of those sites. And I never responded, but I put everything that everyone would want to hear. 6'2", good-looking black man in D.C. I told one lie. Single. Love God. Read my Bible every day in my meditation chamber. And you would be amazed at how many, I got scared, I was like, I got to shut this down, this is crazy. But the point is that people walked into it without any discernment. Just open. So if that is the route that you take, and I think, Reverend Lee, what you said is good, because it really can't give you an answer, because I know people that met one another through that medium, have a great marriage. So I can't say, oops, that was wrong, because they have 2 beautiful children doing great. But just be careful. Guard your heart. Don't jump in head first and just say, ooh, I met this great person, because it might be this crazy guy from DC. So really be careful.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that was one of our anonymous questions, and this kind of sticking on the in our anonymous category. And this is, again, all these questions are submitted anonymously. What is your complete definition of sexual purity? And I guess I'll start with you, Dr. Linsday. What is your complete definition of sexual purity? Is kissing okay, hand-holding, massaging, holding each other, etc.? Are there any limits of being affectionate?
So we just jumped to the anonymous questions, huh? Okay. Complete definition. Well, how about I start with this? Sexual purity, I believe, is really a lifestyle. So for us to really put some labels on it, it's more so, you know, who you are and what you do. It's just, you know, the life that you live. And I think after it becomes a lifestyle, it becomes a habit. It's just what you do. It's not like, you know, this. Because what happens is the kissing, hand-holding, massaging, holding each other. So now we got to talk about it. All right. Y'all ready? Yeah. Okay. I was recently I was with Youth Connects. Where's April? Oh, they left? Okay. And I think they put it on Heaven 1580, and Praise, I'm not sure. And they asked me a question regarding sexual purity and all this stuff, right? So let's be honest about it. I'm 31 years old and I'm still a virgin. Now, let me be clear. That does not mean that I do not think about sex or want to have sex. Can we be honest at the Worth the Wait Gamer? Thank you. Now, I say this because this question is asking about kissing, hand-holding, massaging, and all that. And in my book, The Best Sex of My Life, A Guide to Purity, I'm very clear on how I feel about some of those things. So, what I'm going to say is that because I know me, and I did not have to go to medical